Hey Danny, how you doing, man?
I'm well, Lewis. How are you?
I am well. We've had some Doctor Who. It was kind of pretty good.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty good. I have to give them that. It was very entertaining, this one.
It was. It feels like Chibnall, the whole series has been like sort of holding back a bit. And somebody said to him, "Go on, let loose, do something weird." And then he just fucking slammed it out the park, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to do something really weird.
Oh, I couldn't stop watching. And
Exactly.
I couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I was that invested in this story. But anyway, shall we do our opening statements?
Oh, go on, hit me with it.
A complete and utter curveball, and I loved the hell out of it. I've wanted 2 Doctors in the same season for absolute ages. I love this experimental stuff. Please do more like this.
Finally, Chibnall takes a swing. He writes his little socks off, and I'm very impressed. A confusing and semi-nebulous story, which I hope will be unravelled with time. Not sure how I feel about the crossing their own time stream thing, but hopefully they won't pull them off it and write their way out of it such that they were never in it.
Yeah.
I think you're completely right with the experimental stuff. That's the nature of sci-fi, is for experimental stuff to take place. And it's been far too sort of imitative of Russell T Davies for far too long.
Yes.
I think now that we've got somebody who isn't trying to imitate the past, that could be a good thing, do you know what I mean? Really drive it forward into the future.
Yes, definitely.
Have you got any CRQs?
I do. I have a few. Okay, so let me get the biggest one out of the way. Okay, so there's another Doctor, as far as we know, and it's alluded to that this Doctor is in our Doctor's past.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if any of you know the sort of lore of Doctor Who, a Time Lord can regenerate 13 times.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
And then they die. But obviously, because it's Doctor Who, the Doctor got a few more regenerations, and
a conveniently unspecified number.
I think it was another cycle. So I think.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think there's another. I think there's 11 to go after Whittaker. Because Peter Capaldi started it, and then it was so. So I don't know where she fits in, this new Doctor, into the sort of cycle, because there have been 13 incarnations, and I heard a rumour from some fans, and if it's true, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Okay.
So the rumour, this is just speculation, so there's no way to prove this, but the rumour is that Chibnall is going to massively retcon the show, and he's going to say that Hartnell wasn't the first Doctor, and before that there were 13 female incarnations before that.
Oh god. Yeah, that'd be very stressful.
So, I mean, if that's true, which we don't know that it is, so we can't criticise him on it, but if it's true, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, hats off for doing something bold and crazy, but like on the same level, that might be too bold.
Yeah.
I think that's the challenge of writing an ongoing series is you can only do so much with the pieces you've already got.
Yeah, you can't just fucking fart out 13 new.
Because I think that's the challenge of picking up Doctor Who, is that it's been running since the 60s, almost sort of continuously, and now the challenge is, with these pre-existing characters, make something good.
Yeah.
Rather than, no, I'm just going to retcon everything. It's like in every new Terminator film, they retcon the previous dozen.
Exactly.
That's what you want to avoid writing a serial show like this. So if he does massively retcon it, then yeah, he's been bold and brave and stuff, but I'm not sure if I'll be properly here for it, sort of thing.
No, and I think it's quite insulting if he does that. It's like, no. The people that started the show 60 years ago, no, they didn't start it. It was actually 13 other people that were... You know, Hartnell didn't steal the TARDIS and run away. It was some other Doctor that we have never met nor care about.
I did see an interesting theory that this Doctor that isn't Jodie Whittaker in this episode. Should we just find out what her name is? Because otherwise I will be at a loss.
Her character name is Ruth Clayton.
Ruth. Okay.
And her real name, I believe, is Jo something.
Because the theory that I've seen online is that this Ruth Doctor is between 2 and 3, Doctor 2 and Doctor 3, because between Doctor Who and Doctor 2 and Doctor 3, apparently we didn't see the regeneration, and it's that sort of era TARDIS. So theoretically, it kind of just about fits, but it is a bit like taking a peg that doesn't quite fit into a hole and hammering it in, sort of thing.
Yeah, but it still doesn't add up to the 13 regeneration cycle, and I know it's Doctor Who.
No, you're right.
I know it's Doctor Who and you can do whatever you want, and that's fine, but like you can't just take a rule that's been there for decades and then go, yep, no, that didn't happen. I'm hoping that she's a doctor from another universe. I'm hoping that they go that route, because that would be pretty cool.
That would be cool, you're right.
And if she turned out to be like the villain of the season, I think that would be pretty, but I don't think they're going to go that way.
I think one thing I will say about the regeneration rule is it's always been quite inconsistent. Like, quite a few times they've had doctors that have, like, regenerated just a little bit. Or like that one where Peter Capaldi held onto those cables and provided the Daleks with regeneration energy. Or when David Tennant did a full regeneration but channeled it all into his disembodied hand and all this sort of stuff. Like, those rules have always been quite inconsistent.
Well,
and,
to be fair, Moffat counted that as a regeneration.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Moffat was like, he said, no, I've regenerated 13 times. No, I've regenerated 12 times. There was one where I regenerated and didn't change my face, but it was still a regeneration. I had to heal myself to do that. And there's the War Doctor as well. That's true, yeah.
So, okay, yeah, good point.
I don't know.
But the thing that I always do come back to with that is, like, every now and then it's like, oh yeah, I've just a bit of regeneration energy. Maybe I'll be a bit short in my next life or something. But we never see that. We never quite see. True. Oh yeah, the Doctor's only got one arm, or the Doctor's a bit short, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not saying that they have to, create strict rules and follow them absolutely. I mean, it's sci-fi, and it's a crazy science show for children, which is fine. But if you're gonna make rules that have lasted for decades, and then just massively retcon them, it's like you're not doing anything with, like you said, you're not doing anything with what you've got. You can only go back to the past and change stuff to make yourself look good, rather than coming up with interesting
new things.
Yeah. And when I saw the TARDIS and she said, "Hello, I'm the Doctor," I was like, "Oh my god!"
I didn't expect that at all.
This is going to be fucking great. And then they sort of alluded to the past thing, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? Captain Jack is also in it.
Hooray! We love a bit of Captain Jack.
Oh, it was Brett in the way. Snog Graham as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
I did quite like that. I liked that. I liked Captain Jack back in the day, as it were, and I like him in this now.
Yeah.
I like him. I think that's going to be good and interesting. Be good to have him back, sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he might inject a bit of charisma into, like, Team TARDIS.
Yes.
I think that's what... like when it was the Doctor and, say, Rose, Captain Jack and Mickey, they all had their own individual charisma.
Yeah, that was great. I loved that.
That was like sort of peak Team TARDIS type moment.
Yeah.
And then now with this new one, they sort of don't have as much charisma.
No.
Like Graham does, but it's very misplaced and all this sort of stuff. I mean, I could complain about it all day. Christ knows we're having the other few podcasts. But, yeah, I think he might inject a bit of charisma. It might be just what the sort of Team TARDIS dynamic needs.
Yeah. So the commander Gat was she was a Time Lord or Time Lady. I
didn't get that.
Well, they didn't say that she was a Time Lord. They said that she was Gallifreyan.
Yeah, because Time Lord is like an educational level, isn't it? You go through the academy and become a Time Lord.
Now I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do Gallifreyans regenerate, or is it just Time Lords that regenerate? Because she didn't regenerate at all.
I don't know.
She just died.
I think this is a bit of a guess and a bit of a stab in the dark, but I think it's only Time Lords. Because I think once you graduate from the academy, as it were, you gain access to sort of time travel devices, and it's always been implied that some of the regenerational aspect of a regeneration is because of time travel. Like Amy was pregnant while the TARDIS was in flight, sort of thing, and that affected River Song. So I've always thought that it's Time Lords can regenerate. That's an ability they're sort of given. Standard sort of Gallifreyans, as it were, can't.
Yeah, but like Time Lords are like the name of like the species, but sometimes they'll say like, "Oh, you're a highborn Gallifreyan" instead. So they never really sort of.
They've never made it very specific, which is annoying. like pick something and run with it. Like everybody on the planet is a Gallifreyan, only some of them are Time Lords. But then why would the Krillitanes look at that species and go, the Time Lords, not the Gallifreyans?
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. So a Gallifreyan is anyone from Gallifrey.
Okay.
A Time Lord has looked into the untempered schism, attended the academy, and passed the exams.
Okay.
Time Lords and Gallifreyans all come from Gallifrey, and Time Lords still count as Gallifreyans, but they're a different species.
Oh, that's weird.
So if you're educated in this specific place, you become another species.
Maybe it's something like as they go through the academy, they're given the ability to regenerate, or they're given some kind of difference that makes them able to time travel easier or whatever, and that it gives them sort of a genetic difference.
Yeah.
And so they become like a different species in a way.
Yeah.
That'd be my complete stab in the dark as somebody who loves Doctor Who but is also a bit of an idiot. That'd be my stab in the dark.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Do you know what I thought they were going to do when I saw the TARDIS?
What?
I thought that that Ruth was going to end up being Susan.
That's a good shout. I hadn't considered that. Yeah.
That could maybe maybe she still is. Maybe she is sort of a bit of sci-fi babble has made her think that she's the Doctor. That could be a way they go down.
I originally thought it was going to be there was going to be some kind of a time loop or something where the Doctor has to bury, like Jodie Whittaker has to bury her TARDIS there, and then they wait, and I thought that was going to be the kind of thing. But
can we talk about the Doctor's fashion sense, the new one?
It's very space pirate, isn't it?
It's very sort of. You're right. It's very between Pertwee and Troughton, I think, because it's sort of got Troughton's coat almost, but Pertwee's sort of 70s Austin Powers shirt.
I do kind of dig it though. It's cool.
Well, we all have our taste, don't we?
It was quite strange that the Doctor had changed the what was it? Ruth Doctor had changed clothes by the time she came outside.
Yeah.
Because in the Family of Blood episodes with the Chameleon Arch,
they brought that back, didn't they?
Yeah, which was cool. It's consistent science in the show, but the Doctor didn't change clothes when he got zapped with the fob watch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, oh yes, I am the Doctor, but he didn't change. His clothes didn't change.
Maybe she had clothes in the house.
Maybe.
And she's really fast at putting them on. I don't know.
Maybe she's got super speed.
Yeah, maybe. And this Doctor seems pretty okay with using guns or pointing guns at people.
Yeah, very sort of conflict okay.
Yeah.
Like when she ripped off the horn off that Judoon.
That was she's trained in fighting.
Yeah. Which is something a bit weird, really. Like, wasn't the past Doctors have been trained in, what was it, Venusian Aikido or something?
Yeah, well, to be fair, Pertwee he fenced, and he sort of karate chopped people a couple of times. So maybe that's what maybe that's what they're going for with that.
Maybe.
Without the questions, it's like, just thank you for doing something a bit different. Thank you for actually creating a compelling story.
Yeah, without doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, and the other plot thread that was teased, the lone Cyberman.
Yeah, that's cool. I like Cybermen.
Yeah, I mean that's like, so that's two massive plots now that are. I don't know whether it's going to be seasons apart. I don't know whether they're going to converge.
I think it might be something a bit weird. Something that's like, it's like what we've already seen, but a bit of a twist on it.
Yeah.
Like, historically, Cybermen have never converted the Doctor because his biology isn't compatible, or their biology isn't compatible. So maybe it'll be that the lone Cyberman is a future incarnation of the Doctor or something. Maybe. The Cybermen got to the Doctor and converted him.
Maybe so.
Her, sorry, anybody.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, the Neil Gaiman, I think, wrote an episode called Nightmare in Silver, where they retconned the Cybermen's need for human tissue, and it's like, no, we've upgraded, and now we can have any tissue that we want.
Yeah, which was a bit... I'm not sure quite how I felt about that one.
Yeah.
Because they did become sort of Cybermen. Sorry, the Cybermen became sort of Iron Man.
Yeah.
In that era, which I was never quite sure that I agreed with or liked.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like that's not what makes these monsters scary.
No.
It's the fact that they're a terrifying parallel of ourselves.
Mm. And I think that's another thing that I've briefly been chatting with my wife about over the past couple of days. Doctor Who isn't scary anymore.
No.
Because Russell T Davies Doctor Who was scary as shit.
It was.
I remember watching back some of the old... I've been rewatching old... Well, I say old Who. New Who, but old Who, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I've been rewatching... Because it's on Netflix, and I've been rewatching it. It's good, and For a time, my wife Chloe was watching it with me. And I thought, oh, okay, great. And we were watching it, and she genuinely had nightmares from it. Because it was it's the bits and bobs that got caught in her head because they were unsettling or scary or whatever it was. And the way they represented Cybermen in the Russell T Davies era of people going into booths and getting chopped up, and you can hear them screaming and all this, and that one very iconic shot of a Cyberman mask slowly descending and coming onto the camera as though it's onto your face, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they were scary.
Yeah.
And what's that episode? Midnight, is it?
Oh, that's one of my favourite episodes.
It's chilling. It's really scary.
And it's all acting. There's no
exactly.
no massive special effects. It's just the performances of the people in that ship. They're just fucking great.
Yeah.
Not all stories have to be shit. Not all sort of singular stories have to be rubbish. Stories like Midnight, that's a story that the monster we've never heard from again, and yet everyone can remember it. Everyone remembers the copier or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
No.
That was a good episode. I was watching it the other day, but that was a good episode. Crikey.
It was very good. I like that they've brought the Judoon back, because that was a cool idea. That was a cool idea that was barely elaborated on.
I love the Judoon. They're great. This intergalactic space police type thing. I really love the Judoon.
Yeah. It's
such a cool idea as well, and it raises questions like their physical makeup. Are they what are their bodies like? Their actual from the neck down? Yeah. Are they still kind of rhino-y? Do they have the abs on that suit of armor that shows? It's weird.
The Doctor was we can sort this out woman to woman, to this this big rhino that has the same voice for every other rhino.
Yeah.
So are female Judoon ones with hair?
No idea.
Who knows? It's just a fun wee thing that they've added in,
but I like how the Judoon, the character traits are tough but sort of stupid in a way, and I really liked it. The monosyllabic language of Bo, Sco, Fo, Joe, no. I like that. That's really cool.
Do you think Bo means go?
I have no idea.
Because the Judoon shouted Bo and then they all teleported.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Bo!
Clearly they were thinking well, we can't say go, even though that's what we would say. Let's just say something else.
Let's just say Bo.
Yeah.
That might be a reference to Captain Jack.
Maybe.
He becomes the face of Bo, obviously.
And I am fascinated to see how that transformation takes place.
Yeah, because he's a bit older, isn't he?
He is a bit older, yeah.
I noticed that on his face. And I was like, maybe by the end of the season, he'll become the face of Bo.
If by the end of the season he gets beheaded, that's what's really gonna... if he gets beheaded and his head starts talking, do you know what I mean? That's what's gonna...
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that transformation works. Does his legs just sort of grow really small, and his head just...
Does the face of Bo have a whole body, but it's just really small?
Yeah.
I have seen the headline of an article as I was Googling something this morning that said, could the Ruth Doctor be the Silent Child? Well, no, not the Silent Child. Timeless Child, that's it.
Maybe it's maybe Ruth is a sort of grown copy of the Doctor who's more violent and more warlike.
Yeah, maybe.
That would be interesting. And
because...
can I just say, Ruth's Doctor is quite good.
Ruth Doctor does seem to be cool, yeah.
Quite charismatic, quite,
Only weird thing about the Ruth Doctor is she didn't seem to really care that her companion had been killed.
Yeah, that's a bit strange.
She didn't. There was at no point did she say, "Oh, what was it, Graham or Clive or whatever it was." She didn't say, "Oh, he's dead. He's died."
Yeah, whatever his
That's
name,
a shame.
Whatever his name
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck about him?
I'm a Time Lord again. Who gives a shit?
Where does the Master fit into all this?
I have no idea. Maybe the Master is the Ruth Doctor. Maybe the Master is the Cyberman. Maybe it's a hybrid.
Oh!
But on a more serious note, I don't know how the Master fits into this. I sort of want it to be that the Ruth Doctor it regenerates into the Master, or is a future version of the Master, or something. I want there to be that connection between them, or it's a clone. The Master cloned the Doctor, and now you've got the Ruth Doctor.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned him before. There's a YouTuber called Samuel Davis who did a video called "What I Would Do with Who."
Yes, I watched that actually after the centuries you've been waiting for me to watch it. But yes, I have watched it.
And what are your thoughts on it?
Interesting. It's one of my great things about drama is I'm a bit wary of this idea of let's toy with the viewers. I'm always a bit wary of that.
Yeah.
Because like he was talking about, let's have two doctors, have one of them be very kind, sort of. Well, no, what was it? One very cold and calculating, like a sort of more traditional doctor figure, and one of them be very sort of twitchy and on edge and jumpy, and you don't know which one is actually the Doctor. And that's like a thing throughout the whole series. You don't know which one's the Doctor. I thought, yeah, great idea, but I always am a bit cautious of doing things like that because then you get into sort of like I don't want my TV shows to be too self-aware in a way.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would want to avoid in that situation. But if that was navigated well, I like that idea.
That could have been a great villain, like sort of extra-dimensional being that can copy the likeness of whoever they want and sort of latch onto our universe, and then while the other person is there, they can't fully sort of be manifest, and then once that person is dead, then they become that person. And then they're fully, formed. And who else would you choose to sort of imitate or become than the Doctor? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought that was such a great idea, and I wish they'd done this at the start of the series.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Because I don't know where they're going with it. They're talking about Gallifrey. They're talking about how the founding fathers are liars, and so there's some big secret that the Master found out and just destroyed. Doesn't that just seem a bit pointless?
Well, yeah. If the founding father, it's like, oh yeah, John Adams wasn't a very nice person, so I'm going to destroy all of America.
Yeah.
It doesn't make much sense.
I mean, I know he's a lunatic and all that, but I don't know.
That's something I'm not quite sure about this Sacha Dhawan Master. Is the thing I always liked about the Master, be it John Sim or be it Michelle Gomez. I liked that. Yes, they're a bit crazy and they do want to kill people and all this, but they do also have a sort of a concrete set of goals. And they have the ability to sort of plan and develop and do these things. And I like that this Sacha Dhawan Master is twitchy and unhinged. But I'm not sure whether I'm quite a fan of, like, what's the word? I'm not sure whether I'm a fan of how unhinged he is. Like when he stormed into that room to kill the Doctor, when he was firing his gun into the air or something. I think, yeah, great, unnerve people and frighten people, but it just didn't quite feel as put together. He didn't feel like a genius, is what I'm trying to say. And that's the thing that I think that you sort of are supposed to love to hate about the Master, is that he's a genius. Just as much of a genius as the Doctor is, like.
Yeah, I don't think it's very fair that the Doctor changes personality all the time, and the Master just sort of remains, especially in New Who, this unhinged maniac who just...
Yeah.
maybe we should have Sacha Dhawan should have went more sort of traditional with it, like Roger Delgado, or
maybe
and made it a bit more sort of Moriarty-esque. It's certainly interesting, and I'm certainly engaged. I want to see where it goes, and I'll definitely be watching.
The thing I want to avoid now is like a fleet of filler episodes. I don't want to have that one episode at the start of the series that was, well, that two-parter at the start of the series that was to do with this key theme, then one in the middle, then one at the end. I want
I
a
don't think
couple.
we're gonna see. I don't think we're gonna see Ruth's Doctor again until the final episode. I don't think we're gonna see Captain Jack until the final episode. And I think it is just gonna be filler episodes. Some of them might be good. Some of them definitely won't be. But you know,
Because how did the episode end? Yeah, they were all back in the TARDIS, weren't they?
Yeah.
The Ruth Doctor. What happened to her? Did she get taken captive by the Judoon? I can't remember.
No, I think she left.
She left in her own TARDIS, and then the Judoon must have just left Earth, and then they were just back in the TARDIS, chums again. Like, what? I think this would be a good time to have sort of a, not quite a whodunit type of episode, but like almost that of the Doctor sort of hunting down the Master, like a sort of intergalactic sort of treasure hunt, as it were. The Master has left clues for her, and she has to pick them out, solve them, think about it, and then go back to... Do you know what I mean? That might be an interesting view of it, almost a detective episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, I don't know how familiar you are with Star Trek Next Generation, but that one episode where they're hunting through the galaxy to find the next part in a genetic chain, or whatever it is. They've found this genetic fragment.
Yeah.
And they're trying to find other bits of genetic fragments, and the Enterprise shoots through the galaxy. That might be an interesting thing to see in Doctor Who.
Definitely.
How do these 4 Team TARDIS members search through the galaxy to try and find the Master? What's their plan, sort of thing?
Another thing that Samuel Davis said, that he likes the idea that the TARDIS team have to choose between doctors.
Yes, yeah.
That could have been interesting if they did that right at the start, and then this new Doctor shows up, and she is completely honest with them, and maybe some of them go with her, and we have separate adventures with different Doctors, I think, and then they sort of meet up at the midpoint, and then at the final episode. I think that's just such a great... And I'm surprised it's never been done. I don't understand why no one has done that before. It seems like the most obvious thing to do.
I suppose it's about balancing between... I suppose it's about trying to get views. About, well, this is the Doctor Who people know and love. It's sort of almost the sitcom aspect of X amount of key main characters and lots of people that are only in one episode. That's the thing that people are used to. That's the thing that people will tune in for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I suppose it depends who you're trying to please. You try to please kids, or you try to please fans.
That's true.
That care about the characters. I mean, I suppose it depends on who you are.
Because several of these episodes have felt a bit sort of childish, a bit kiddified, as it were.
Yeah.
Especially that. Oh, we're on Earth. That episode, the oh god, I mean, I've forgotten the name. It can't have been very fucking good. Orphan 55, yeah. That felt very childish.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it might start to be having the Disney problem, with Star Wars and things like that.
Sure.
It's becoming more sort of commodified and sort of just we need to sell toys.
Yeah.
We don't really care about what we produce. It's like, no, you should be there for the fans.
And I think I do quite... One thing that... I mean, I know we're sort of going over time now, but I do like... It's one thing I've always said about Doctor Who, it's best when they don't spend much money on it.
Yeah.
If you give Doctor Who too much money, they go overboard and it's not as good. Doctor Who, I think, is at its peak when there's lots of creative people who are struggling just a little bit. They've got just enough money, and then they're thinking, well, come on, let's make something brilliant. We're just almost there, and they're just stretching themselves and just working that bit harder.
Yeah.
And I think now Who has been given so much money, and in this most recent episode, it becomes very clear to me that they've spent that money on hiring lots of good actors, and hiring interesting locations, interesting set pieces, building a new TARDIS. Do you know what I mean? That's where the money should be spent, rather than on advanced CGI or a weird, complicated set bit. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, and I'm like the first episode with the Daleks in the entire show. The Daleks are the design just shouldn't work. It just looks ridiculous at face value.
Yeah.
But it's still one of the best stories in the entire show's history.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and that's like you're saying. It's like it should be more about the concept rather than, a big blockbustery, CGI monsters type thing.
Yeah, totally.
And again, it looked good. You know, the cinematography was good.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, it's always gorgeous.
Yeah, I think we just say that every episode now. Yeah, it was cinematography was good. I like the design of the Judoon ship. I like that they changed it up a little bit. I thought that was a really cool design.
Did they? I thought it was very similar.
It was, but there was sort of like jagged edges on it, and it made it look a bit more sort of roguish.
Because that was the vibe you got from the Judoon, wasn't it? About this one commander seems to be a bit of a rogue agent sort of thing, yeah. Because he had that scar through his eye. Yeah. That was like one of his eyes was her eye, yeah, of course. But yeah, the one eye was fine, and then the other eye had cloudy and had like a scar above and below. It's like that you got the feeling these Judoon were sort of renegade rogue soldiers type thing. It was really good.
Yeah, I like the idea that they're mercenaries.
That's a cool idea, isn't it?
They're sort of police for hire. I think that's pretty cool. A cool concept.
Police for hire is sort of a fascinating thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely get a few sort of subtle statements out of that. I think. If you brought them back, but anyway, we've exceeded our time. I think, Lewis.
We have a little bit. Have you got a closing statement?
I do. Yeah. Doctor Who is at its best when it does crazy things with crazy ideas. Please do more.
I couldn't agree with that more. Crazy ideas. This is the place to have crazy ideas. I think I've had too much playing it safe with Doctor Who, with Marvel movies, with loads of stuff recently.
Yeah.
Do some crazy shit. Mix it up. Experimental stuff with old school enemies. Big fan. Finally, Chibs has had a go. I look forward to the resolution. Have a go. Do something weird. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Even if it absolutely tanks, at least you've had a go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
do something crazy. Yeah, try. Can anybody find you online, Danny? Or have you deleted all your accounts and everything? Or
Yep, I've gone dark.
Nice. Off the grid.
I'm on Instagram at Hiram. I'm on Facebook at Daniel Kerr. I'm also on Twitter at Kerzer2000. So there you go.
I'm Instagram, Lewis_Brindley, Twitter, LewisBrindley4, Facebook, Lewis Brindley is my Facebook page. As with every episode, I say I have no idea how Facebook works. I still don't. I hope you can find me. I am on Facebook. That's my name. Good luck.
Thank you.
The podcast is hosted by Podomatic, so we're on shoutingintothevoid.podomatic.com. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We might be on Deezer. I don't know. I clicked submit. I've had no official correspondence. If we're on Deezer, let us know.
Yep.
It'd be interesting to find out.
We've got a YouTube channel.
We do.
We've got a donate button for PayPal on the.
We do.
On the site, so anything you can spare would be very much appreciated. We're on
Patreon,
so you can get all that sneaky good stuff that none of the public can get. The public, fuck's sake. So yeah, please do give us money.
Yep, give us some money. Hope you enjoyed the episode.
Yep.
But no, I hope you enjoyed the episode. This was a really good episode of Doctor Who. I'm really looking forward to the next one.
As am I. Thank you for listening, folks.
Thank you.